Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I got a guitar, guys, that even when I was a kid, it was one of my forbidden dreams. This is an instrument that can be said to have made a little bit the history of the evolution of the electric guitar. This is a legendary Jackson Soloist. This one in particular is an SL1. It is said that it was really the first Super Strat to come out in series like this. This is a guitar that practically has created a genre and a style, which is the one of the 80s. Guys, before starting, all videos where I talk about my guitars are collected inside a playlist on my channel, which I leave you anyway above and also in the description below. As I often do in this kind of videos, I like to start with a little bit of history. So if we want to talk about Jackson history, we also necessarily need to talk about Charvel, who initially only dealt with electric guitar spare parts and had become famous because many took their guitars to him to have them heavily modified. At the end of the 70s, the Charvel was sold to Grover Jackson, who had a very different business idea. He wanted to build his own guitars. In the 80s came the meeting with Randy Rhoads, who wanted a custom-made guitars that resembled a shark. So the very first prototype of the Concorde was born, which of course you'll remember played live by Randy. Small detail, nobody liked that model, not even the person who built it. So Grover Jackson worried that his creation could tarnish Charvel's reputation and decided to use his own surname. The new guitars produced, however, had a huge success in the following years. So, in the late 80s, Grover Jackson decided to accept a very high offer from a group of Japanese investors, who in turn accepted the offer in the early 2000s of Fender, effectively merging the two companies. The legendary Jackson model we are talking about today is the Jackson Soloist SL1, the very first true Super Strat that should date back at around 1984. The year that I was born, by the way. Is recognized by many and regarded as the very first guitar that had everything that one could expect on very high-level guitars. A bit like all the best Jackson from that era, this soloist tried to be the perfect hybrid between the Fender and the Les Paul. The SL1 was produced exclusively inside the United States. It has the highest quality materials and it was created only for the guitarists that had the greater needs. underbody with quarter-cut maple neck for added stability, 24-fret ebony fingerboard. The neck has a thin profile, but not too much, and the radius is compound, starting 12 and reaching 16, so you find it really comfortable both for riff chords and fast solos. The scale is always 25.5 inches as per the Stratocaster tradition. The bridge is an original Floyd Rose. You won't damage it, even if you use it to pull a freight train. A wonderful thing that is very rarely seen on an electric guitar are the inlays and the Jackson logo in real mother of pearl, with a beautiful white binding all over the neck. The pickup configuration is HSS, the most versatile in the world, with a JBTB4 Seymour Duncan at the bridge, plus the other two Seymour Duncan classic single-coil stacks. As you have heard, the guitar is able to sound really powerful, but if you use the two single coils, you can have a typical Stratocaster sound that is very nice and convincing. Very versatile guitar, but surely the SL1 gives its best playing heavy metal, rock, fast solos. It is certainly not the first guitar that it comes to our mind when we think about blues. For all those like me who like heavy metal and this type of music, it is really hard to find a notable fault with this Jackson Soloist. It can be considered as a true classic in the evolution of the electric guitars. If you ever had in your life even a very little phase of metal, I am sure that you dreamed of having one of these once in your life. This is a very known model, but I am happy to talk about it because it's a must. We must necessarily talk about this model when we talk about Super Strats. I hope I have introduced you to something more about this guitar and maybe to know some curiosities about the soloist that you still didn't know. Obviously, if you liked the video, I invite you to subscribe to my channel, leave a like and a comment. And below in the description you will also find my link to Instagram as well as all my other social network pages. So guys, thanks again for watching, see you in the next video, ciao belli, io adesso vado a suonarmi sta soloistona.